Well, the round of 32 has officially been completed, and now we're down to the final 16 teams. But what was my initial thought of each game during these last couple days? Well, let's find out. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and welcome to my March Madness round of 32 reactions. These were some pretty interesting games. We have a couple huge upsets that happened. Some were great, others killed me on the inside. But yeah, we're just going to go through game by game with my initial thoughts on them. And yeah, so without further ado, here's my reactions.
San Diego State 75, Furman 52.
I honestly couldn't believe a Mountain West team made it this far and made it to the round of 16. But San Diego State beating Furman, it wasn't even close. I felt bad for Furman after beating Virginia in that dramatic fashion, and the fact that they crapped the bed. Oh, it just sucks. But man, San Diego State played incredible in that game. They spread the floor like no one's business. They were doing everything right. And yeah, the Aztecs, I think, make it to the Sweet 16 for the first time in their history. Knock on wood. I could be wrong, but yeah, congrats to San Diego State for moving on to the Sweet 16.
Tennessee 65, Duke 52.
You know, the best part of this game was when Grant Williams, a Tennessee graduate, was harping all over his Boston Celtic teammate Jason Tatum because Duke lost to Tennessee. I thought Tennessee would not have it in them, and they proved me wrong. Rick Barnes has a pretty good squad. They can shoot the ball, they can defend, and grab rebounds. Duke was doing that, but there was times where they just got trigger happy and just started shooting. And Kyle Filipowski got hit in the face, and he had a big gash on the side of his, underneath his eye, which was really disgusting to see. But yeah, Duke just kind of laid an egg, and I don't want to say it's all Jon Scheyer's fault. I mean, the players did some stupid things as well. But for a first-year coach, after and replacing one of the greatest coaches of all time in the sport of college basketball, he did a pretty good job, and I think he'll be fine at Duke. I think Duke will be consistent with Jon Scheyer as the helm, and it sucks that they went out in the round of 32, but I want to say congratulations to good old Rocky Top for moving on to the Sweet 16.
Arkansas 72, Kansas 71.
If there are any children around, please leave the room immediately.
Dear Lord, that's the loudest profanity I've ever heard.
I just don't know how. I don't know how KU lost this game, and it sucks. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, if we had Bill Self, this would have been differently. Oh, we needed Bill Self. The guy needs to stay alive. Simple as that. If we had him on the sideline, there's a good chance that we'd be talking about something completely different, and it would not be good. I'm taking the loss with dignity, but I do want to give my congratulations to Arkansas for moving on to Sweet 16. Also, coach taking off his shirt. Win with class, lose with dignity.
Princeton 78, Missouri 63.
Well, now I feel better. My goodness. Missouri, how does it feel to lose to a frickin' Ivy League school? You lost to a bunch of nerds. But give Princeton credit. I mean, the fact that they shocked two teams, Arizona and Missouri. They're the third consecutive 15 seed to make it to the Sweet 16. And I would say beware of Princeton, because there's a good chance these guys can make it to the Elite Eight. And my gosh, it's just funny. I'm laughing on the inside and outside because Missouri lost to these boys.
Houston 81, Auburn 64.
Okay, now I can finally come back to reality a little bit, but Houston defeating Auburn. Did not expect it to really happen in this fashion, but what are you going to say? Houston's really good. Kelvin Sampson has a really good squad. I mean, they look like a Final Four team, potential to win it all. They just got to get through these big blockades in the regional. And, you know, they got through the first two. Now they get to go to Kansas City. But again, it's in semi their backyard. But I know there's going to be a lot of burnt orange if they end up going to the Elite Eight. So you better bring a lot of red to the T-Mobile Center. But I will say congratulations to the Houston Cougars for moving on.
Texas 71, Penn State 66.
Wow, this one was a squeaker. Texas barely beating Penn State should really scare the Longhorns. The fact that they're going to the regional, they could get beat in their next game. But I know Coach Terry has an incredible squad. I mean, Marcus Carr was great. Sir Jabari Rice is amazing. Christian Bishop is going to be your guy that you're going to really need to go to. But yeah, give credit to Penn State for putting up an incredible game. It just didn't come out the way they wanted to. So, ails me. Congratulations to Texas. You're moving on.
UCLA 68, Northwestern 63.
Like I said in my last reaction video, Northwestern, you're gonna be bringing back the crying kid meme. And sure enough, you are. Because you lost in a heartbreaker. And I would not be surprised that the boys from Westwood go all the way. They are really talented. And these guys have made it to a Final Four before. Most of these guys, I should say. But yeah, UCLA, they gave you, I mean, UCLA, you gave them a scare. But I think with that momentum, UCLA will just bully through and potentially get to the Final Four. So yeah, congrats to UCLA for moving on.
Alabama 73, Maryland 51.
And no surprise here, the number one seed, Alabama, goes on to the Sweet 16, which I believe is the second one seed to make it. Brandon Miller actually scored for you guys, which helps a lot. I'm pretty sure you would have needed him this game, and you're going to need him for the rest of the tournament. If he doesn't score more than 10, you're losing. Simple as that. But you did win, so congrats to Alabama for moving on.
Xavier 84, Pitt 73.
Dagnabbit, you lost it again, and I wore you one day. Yeah, Xavier beating Pitt. I did not expect that. I thought Pitt would actually make this a semi-decent game, and it was for a little bit, and then Xavier pulled away. I did not expect the Musketeers to be this good. Again, Sean Miller has a really good squad. He did well. So, yeah, this one shocked me. And congrats to Xavier for moving on to the Sweet 16.
K-State 75, Kentucky 69.
There's a double-edged sword here. Rivalry wins, you don't hear the end of it. Kentucky wins, they inch ever so closely to the all-time win record. I'll take the hate. I mean, Kentucky was up 8 in this game and blew it. Simple as that. I mean, I watched John Calipari's his press conference. He can't believe it. They won the rebounding battle. They shot better. They had less turnovers in the second half and still lost. How on earth do you lose this game? And with that said, congratulations, K-State. You're moving on.
Michigan State 69, Marquette 60.
God, the Fighting Izzos did it again. Okay. Michigan State beating Marquette. Michigan State's going to the Final Four. I mean, he does it like every so often. The fact that they stink in the regular season, but when it comes to March Madness in the tournament, they'll run the freaking table. I know you have a tough Kansas State squad that you got to look forward to, but oh boy, I could see Izzo and the Spartans moving to the Final Four. But for now, I'm going to say congratulations to Michigan State for moving on to the Sweet 16.
UConn 70, St. Mary's 55.
Okay, kind of saw this one coming. UConn, they were dominant from start to finish. Simple. I mean, St. Mary's could not hang, even though they did put up more than 50. The fact that they did put up more than 50 was just remarkable. But UConn has an incredible squad. Yeah, UConn's dangerous. I mean, the fact that they were a really good team early in the season and then kind of dipped off, they're back into that early season form. So yeah, congratulations to UConn for moving on.
Creighton 85, Baylor 76.
I called it. I freaking called it. It's in my bracket. I called that Creighton would beat Baylor because I thought Creighton was just better. Don't get me wrong, Scott Drew has an incredible squad, but Greg McDermott, wow, what a job he's done in Omaha. And I think it's their first Sweet 16 since maybe when Doug McDermott was there. I don't remember if Doug McDermott's years at Creighton they made it to the Sweet 16, but it's been a long time since Creighton has made it that far. Congrats to the Blue Jays for moving on.
Florida Atlantic 78, Fairleigh Dickinson 70.
I will say, Fairleigh Dickinson made this a game, and it sucks that they get to go home, but it is pretty cool that Florida Atlantic gets to go to the Sweet 16, which I think is their first in school history. Yeah, you kind of got a little bit of a scapegoat here when Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue, which is still the biggest upset of the tournament. But there's a good chance you should have rolled this team, and Fairleigh Dickinson did not give up. It sucks to see Fairleigh Dickinson going home, but congratulations to Florida Atlantic for moving on to their first Sweet 16.
Miami 85, Indiana 69.
The U's for real. Jim Larinaga and the Miami Hurricanes killed Indiana. Oh, it hasn't really set on me yet that Indiana, I know they were like a top 25 team for majority of like the first half of the season and then just dipped off. But yeah, they have one of the National Player of the Year candidates and they just crapped the bed. I mean, it was close for a bit and then just Miami rolled. I mean, Isaiah Wong played great. Nigel Pack was a beast. Yeah, anybody who's got to play Miami, there's going to give you this quick little line from a theme song that I know, and it just fits well.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through!
And yeah, with that said, congratulations to the U for moving on to their second consecutive Sweet 16.
Gonzaga 84, TCU 81.
Whoa, this one was a nail biter. Gonzaga barely escaping TCU. Wow. If it wasn't for Drew Timme having the game of his life, what it seems, Gonzaga would have been knocked out. But yeah, Jamie Dixon had an incredible squad this year. There was no question that they were going to be a force in the Big 12. I think if they would have had Eddie Lampkin in this game, I think it would have been a different story. But with all the things that have happened with him leaving the team and accusing Jamie Dixon of being a racist, yeah, this would have been completely different in my eyes. But anyway, I just want to say heartfelt condolences to TCU for heading back home, and congratulations to Gonzaga for moving on to the Sweet 16. All right, well, that's going to do it for my March Madness Round of 32 reactions. Let me know what your reactions were to any of these games. And yeah, also, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell. And tell your friends about these videos. And I should see you again when the next video comes out. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.